Hi everyone, welcome to Pioneers of Web3 with Santosh and Bimlesh.
Way back in 2006, I could feel that India is going to rise, right? So that's how I launched Explora way back in 2008 when the angel list of the world was not existing, right? We're very early ahead of time. And I think that is not a good thing also in many cases because you don't need to start at the right timing. So I have learned a lot of those lessons of when you should start and when is the right time to start, which market you need to grow, how the market should grow. And I think that journey has been reflecting to go out and publicly share both in terms of success, failure, realities, not sort of sugarcoating, tell it as it is.
So you mentioned something about a very crucial thing is about the right time.
My first entrepreneur journey was to build out India's connected healthcare platform. But as a first-time entrepreneur, I focused more on the tech rather than talking to investors early on. And that while the timing was great in terms of building out a product, a lot of macro factors come into play. Are the policies in place? Is the consumer behavior changing? What other technology companies are also bidding at the same time that can augment the consumer behavior? So at 13, 14 time in India, mobile penetration was on a high. So that entire e-commerce wave was just coming up. And then the whole question of now, if everything can get delivered home, why not medicines? That was also the time that I launched my product. My fundraising point of timing was wrong. So timing your product, timing your market, and timing your fundraising. All these three factors are critical as an early stage founder. If you have a dream to build a multi-billion dollar.
If I talk about Santosh, you have seen the technology evolution from web.com boom to web 2 to web 3.
Sure.
How do you see right now web 3, where it is leading to?
So if you look at the web 2, a lot of ideas came in the world of 99, right? But the logistics were not there, real-time notifications were not there, the customer support systems were not there. So it is supposed to fail whether you are 20 million or 50, 40, 50 million dollar. In Web3, in the last 2 to 3, 4 years, a lot of ideas came in, but the technology was not existing in terms of how much you can really deploy it and get millions of people to experience it. So I think we are still at the crux of figuring out what sort of technology, consumer behavior, consumers coming out and be excited about something that you knew, really new. Not in terms of city coin being dropped in.
We have seen this in Web3. We started with DAO, DeFi, we started with so many cryptos. Right now we are talking more and more on asset tokenization. But again, something has failed. I would say the failure are better for the future success.
There is no fine formula that anybody knows what is the real. Until Web 2 came in, nobody really thought that your web browser is going to replace the desktop. So the same thing in Web 3 today, right? Everything that has been failed may come back in a different form.
What is that idea behind, or what is the thought process behind creating this Foundership?
So we both coming together was solving a very simple problem statement to say that entrepreneur's journey is very lonely, but what if that can be made exciting and trustworthy with having somebody to go along with you on the long road on this journey. And that's how Foundership was started. We formally announced it in March 2021. And today we are with a portfolio of about 32 companies with both Web 2 and predominantly Web 3 from about 6 continents across the world.
That's quite a remarkable achievement what you have done.
When startup comes into Foundership, it has to be contextual coaches, there has to be OKR, there has to be a measurable outcome for the founders. And that has people have liked it. Second, when we are building startups, what do we need? We need a community of backers, believers to say, you're building something, okay, let me test it out. Unless we have that initial 100 or 50 or 200 people to test it out, we are just going out and spending time and wasting our time, right? So we solve that. The third partner is capital. A lot of times, yes, VCs and investors will a lot of deal flows, but ultimately you also need to guide the founders. We'll deploy that for you. We'll be with you over the 3 to 4 months with your idea, to your traction. That's our responsibility.
Wonderful, wonderful the way you have modeled it around 3 C's, away from the conventional accelerator or the models. But again, how you feel that this Web3 is going to translate in future? That's my personal feeling could be. Web3 technology has taken a big hit, be it because of certain speculation activities, be it because of the cryptos, or be it because of the world order, or you can blame it to the government regulation. They are not coming with the clarity, because this should not discourage the innovation in Web3. Such a beautiful technology should be used for the mankind.
The origin of Web3 happened due to the financial crisis in 2008, right? Power was with a few, and many of them became victims of that situation. Web3 promises to give back the power to each one of us on the planet. Now, what this last decade has shown the potential success that new generation people are much faster in adopting this tech, and this could become a new way of communicating with every individual across the planet. I will not be surprised from a banking innovation that the entire payment infrastructure between country to country multi-currency settlement will all happen on blockchain powered tech.
But again, when you talk about integrating this technology to the present aspect of climate change, that's the most dangerous aspect what we are seeing nowadays.
From an end consumer and a company point of view, all these years, every company had a corporate responsibility, right? The simplest differentiation was that larger the company is trustworthy because they have the resources to procure right, to source it right, to manufacture right, and then to sell it right. With more capitalism, with more competition coming up and more consumption increasing, everyone tends to take a shortcut. The biggest trust factor that all of us today as humans need is on the food, right? Today across the world, you are already having pockets of companies that are building traceability around farm to fork, right? But who is controlling this data? How do I as a consumer really know that this data is not fudged and it is really trustworthy data? The inherent trust is required to be very high, and the service delivery has an impact on every human being on the planet. Now that's the true marriage of where this technology will come in and how public goods can really be distributed across the world uniformly, no matter what my caste, creed, color, race, or my financial ability.
Exactly. So in a way, you can say that democratizing your decentralized technology. Bimlesh, the food we talk, I used to say that we have got 100% right to know where we are sourcing the food.
Right.
Till now, we don't have a clarity on that what oil we are eating, how much is the contaminated oil, or we should have the right to know. We have now created a sustainable supply chain. The product is already in the market. We look at the regulation, because see, if you look at the climate side, it is going to be tightened through regulation only. What is that sustainable source? Your labor should be properly compensated. You are not destroying the forest or not procuring the product from some deforested area. So we focus into that. Ethical procurement, sustainable procurement. We have created our own technology framework where we capture the data from the farm and the farm field, how the activity starts. Coming to the ESG, our product is ready. We have started implementing a couple of the clientele in Middle East and in India, bigger companies, including the big corporates. It's the pivoting and quick pivoting and the running and anxiety keep us a bit tired, among other. That's how we are here.
To hear from the banking to the investment to the building out a great product in this segment in Web3. Fantastic inspiration.
Thank you. It was wonderful talking to you, Bimlesh.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Prabir. Thank you so
Santosh.
much.
Wonderful.